5 reasons we are tested by Allah. Life is filled with ups and downs, and there are times where our trials seem unending. In the Quran, there are several verses in which Allah talks about the varying ways we will be tested, but He also provides a care package to help us navigate those trying moments. Ramadan and lockdown. Here's our guide to a lockdown Ramadan, filled with the du'as you need, hados, some soulful inspiration and ideas for good deeds. Why are we tested? This is a very common question from Muslims, people of other faiths, or no faith, so it's important to reflect on it. Lack of answers can sometimes distance people from their faith. If a person doesn't understand why trials happen, they can start to feel life is unfair or even that God is being unfair. But Allah is Al-Adil, the just, and He is the Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. He never wants ill for His servants, He only wants the best for us. There is a lot of evidence in the Quran and Hadith that helps us answer this question of why we are tested. 1. We were created to worship Allah. We were created to worship Allah, and we all made a promise to do so before we were sent to earth. Tests are means for us to fulfill this promise. In fact, they are a sunnah of Allah, i.e., tests are the means by which Allah distinguishes between us, because they help to expose faith and lack of faith. Allah states in the Quran, "Do the people think that they will be left to say, 'We believe,' and they will not be tried? But we have certainly tried those before them, and Allah will surely make evident those who are truthful, and He will surely make evident those who are false." Quran 29, 2-3. 2. Allah tests us to purify us and wash away our sins. The Prophet said, "No calamity befalls a Muslim but that Allah expiates some of his sins because of it, even if it were the prick of a thorn." Bukhari, Muslim. So instead of seeing tests as a punishment from Allah, this shows that in fact, Allah wants to save us from punishment, i.e., the punishment of the hereafter, which is much worse than any test faced in this dunya. 3. A test can sometimes replace a worse misfortune. A test can be a form of protection from something that might have befallen us. Or being deprived of something might, in fact, be saving us from something that is not good for us, even though we don't have the knowledge to realize it at the time. Allah tells us, "Perhaps you dislike a thing and Allah makes therein much good." Quran 4:19. Therefore the test which might seem so awful to you at the time is, in fact, a blessing. 4. Tests are given to us to strengthen our iman, faith. The Prophet said, "The people who face the most difficult tests are the prophets, then the righteous, then those following them in degree." A person is tried according to his religion. So if there is firmness in his religion, then the trial is increased, and if there is a weakness, then it is lightened. Verily a trial remains with a servant until he walks the earth having no sin left upon him. Bukhari. Allah wants to refine us, out of His love and mercy, so that we can attain not just paradise but the highest rank of the prophets and the righteous. Tests expose our faults and weaknesses to ourselves, and that awareness enables us to be more focused and proactive in rectifying those aspects of our character. Listen to how it all started. Life before Amalia, over on our podcast, Amalia Voices. Rizq Allah will provide from sources you cannot imagine. It takes a village to raise children, are you building one? 5. Allah tests a person He loves. The Prophet said, whenever Allah wills good for a person, He subjects them to adversity. Bukhari. Why? Because if the servant reacts with sabr and contentment with Allah's decree, it brings them closer to Allah. And whenever Allah wills good for a person, He subjects them to adversity. Quran 3:146. 10 Ways to deal with tests. Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah, stated that when we are tested, we are faced with 2 options. To be patient. To not be patient. So when we lack patience and get frustrated, bitter/panicky, or lose hope/blame Allah, this is actually a choice we make, and not a very good one. But those who choose option 1, as difficult as it is, benefit from their tests in this life and also gain in the next life, i.e. Jannah. So how can we choose to have more patience and contentment when tested? Thanks to the sisters who gave the following suggestions. Read or listen to the Quran, because dhikr gives contentment, see Quran 13:28. Make dua for Allah's help, strength, and relief from the test, just as Yaqub, as, Maryam, as, and the Prophet all did. Gratitude puts our tests in perspective and stops us from complaining. It is the greatest route towards sabr. Remember what others are going through, remember the Ummah, and people around you in your own communities, remind yourselves of the tests the Prophets went through, they provide us with good examples of perseverance. Bear in mind every single person is being tested in different ways. Remember nothing in this life lasts forever, so the test will have an end insha'Allah, verily with every hardship comes ease, Quran 94:5-6. Allah does not burden any soul beyond what it can bear, Quran 2-286, Allah has confidence in us, so we too need to have confidence in our ability to get through the test. Muhasabah, use tests as an opportunity for self-assessment. Are there things you can do better next time? Are there habits or characteristics you need to change? Deal with your test one step at a time, i.e., if you have a task to complete, give yourself small goals. Or if you are facing a long-term test, try to have patience for that day, and start afresh with your goal of sabr.